Hello.
Hey, good evening, good evening, well, good afternoon. All right, good afternoon, everyone. Hope all is well. Hope everyone is doing all right. See, is everybody in? Let's see. Got a couple people audio still connecting, so let's give them a few more seconds. Still people sitting on limbo trying to connect, but we can go ahead and at least start talking a little bit. So we're looking at 4.2 today, just looking at slopes, finishing off 4.2. And remember we talked about last class 3 ways of graphing. So we have the XY chart, intercepts, and slopes. We did XY chart and intercepts last class, so now we're going to do slopes today. And so slopes is the last part of 4.2. All right, so the formula for the slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2, those are the same thing. If you do it either way, you'll get the same value, and I'll show you what I mean in a second. And then when it comes to graphing, it's also represented by rise over run. So notice M is what we use to represent slopes. Couldn't use S because S is used in other places. And so you can't just keep using S for everything. So we're using M. M represents our slope. All right, while you guys are copying that, give me 1 second. Sorry about that. Okay, can I scroll up? And you see the values of x1, y1, x2, y2 comes from our points. So any 2 points on the line will give us our slope. We'll be able to calculate our slope from any 2 points on the line. All right, can I scroll up? All right, so first exercise, find the slope. And they give us 2 points, -2, -4, 3, -5. So first thing you want to do is label, your 2 points. Call the first one I saw 0.1. So that's x1, y1. Second point is 0.2, x2, y2. So both of these points would actually be on the line. All right, so you plug them in accordingly. So we're going to do y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 first. And then, like I said, I'll show you the same calculation, but in reverse, x1 and y1 first, and we'll see that we'll get the same number. But you plug in accordingly. Y2 is -5. Y1 is -4. So that's the top. And make sure you don't lose a negative. So notice we have -5 minus -4.
Okay, can I ask you something? You said -5 is what now?
Y2.
And the 4 is okay.
And so we plug them in right here.
Right.
Accordingly. And then we do the same thing for the bottom. This is x2 and this is x1. So that's why we have 3 minus -2. All right. Are we okay with our substitution here?
Wait a minute, Professor, wait a minute. Good afternoon. So we just, it's telling us exactly, I came in about 2 seconds late. That just threw me all behind. I'm sorry. So where's the actual problem at? The problem that we're solving is the y2 minus y1, x2 minus x.
Yeah, that's the formula to find the slope.
Okay.
So if it says find the slope of it, then you have to use this formula right here.
Okay, so, okay, wait a minute. Find the slope of y2, y1 over, wait a minute, x2 minus x. So that would be, so the y2, okay, so if I go up here to the y2, -5, right? And then the y1 is -4. Okay, I just want to be able to see exactly. And the bottom is x2, which would be 3. Okay. Minus, since this is going to be 2 minus, we're going to put parentheses there. Okay. And then we total. So that's going to be my answer. -1 over 5 will be the answer for that particular problem. Gotcha. Okay. So we just following the formula.
Yep.
Thank you.
Can I ask you a question? You know the screen is over there. What is that written right there? Do it say rise?
Screen where?
-5 plus 4.
Right here.
Go to the next
here.
one.
You said,
Yes.
where do you see
What's that
rise?
beside it?
Right here?
You got to move this over. Yes.
Come about the answer.
Oh, -1 over 5.
Yes.
Are you asking?
Yes.
So he didn't put down the rise up there.
I mean, yeah, it's just -1 over 5.
Rise.
That's what I was talking about. You said, okay, that says rise.
Where? Well, that you that's up here.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. So there's nothing over here except -1 over 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
But to get to her question, will this answer have a rise and a run to
we ain't there. You doing?
Okay.
All you see is -1 over 5.
All right.
Yeah. We'll get there. We just that's all we doing.
Slow down, Miss Lady. Slow down.
Oh, what he said, always going too fast.
Miss Denise, slow down now.
But we're gonna get there. I just want to make sure we good with this part first, though. So yeah. So this is our slope, -1 over 5. So now I also mentioned the formula that either way you'll get the same answer. You just have to make sure that if you do y2 first, then you do x2 first down bottom. Or if you do y1 first, then you do x1 first down bottom. So we did it with y2 minus y1 x2 minus x1. But if you decided to do y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2, it'll still give you the same value. So notice we're plugging in those values for x1, y1 and y2. So it'd be -4 minus -5. And then -2 minus 3. So we get 1 over -5, which is still -1 over 5. You don't have to do both of them when you're doing your calculations. You only have to do one. I'm just showing you that as long as you stay consistent. If you use y2 first up top, make sure you use x2 first down bottom. Or if you use y1 first up top, make sure you use x1 first down bottom.
Okay, Professor, so the two answers are the same. So in other words, it's not -1 over 5, it's -1/5.
Yep.
First. So if the
Normally,
negative is at,
go ahead.
if the negative is at the top like that,
Mhm.
either way it go, it's gonna be, the whole answer is gonna be a negative. It's not just
Right.
at the top.
So this, and this means all the same thing.
Gotcha. Okay.
But as far as writing it as your final answer, normally they don't leave the negative in your denominator. You may see one of these, but normally that's not the norm, leaving the negative
Okay.
down bottom. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And that's just notation, so. All right. So let's try it again. Is everybody good? Try it again. So find the slope, but they give us 5, -6, and 8, 3. Once again, you want to label your points. I call the first one I see 0.1, so that's x1, y1. Second one, 0.2, x2, y2. So, and once you label them, you go ahead and plug it in accordingly.
Okay.
So y2 is 3. Y1 is -6. And then x2 is 8 minus x1, which is 5. Questions on the substitution?
Okay, wait a minute. Is it always going to be negative?
When you say it, what do you mean? Do you mean minus right here?
The problem, yes.
Yeah, that's always minus sign in between your two terms. Yeah.
It's always going to be minus.
So that's why you got to make sure you don't lose that negative right there, when you're doing your substitution. Because you plugged in -6, but there was a minus sign there as well. So.
Will we get that -5? Oh, -5.
Minus. I got that one.
Okay. Equals 903 equals 3. So wait a minute, y2. X gonna always be the first number. That's what I got to remember. And y is gonna always be the second number.
Oh, yep. Right there. Yep. All right. So y2 minus y1 is 3 minus 6. 3 minus -6. So that's going to turn positive towards that negative to a negative. And then down bottom, 8 minus 5, which is 3. So 9 divided by 3 will give us 3 as our slope.
I'm having problems figuring. Okay. Let me see where I'm getting confused at. X1, Y1. For some reason I ain't seeing this good. I don't know why. 'Cause I've already done this before. I should know this. Okay, X1.
Is it something I need to say or?
Okay, my X1 is gonna be the, okay. And Y1 is gonna be the 8. Wait a minute. Oh, Y1 gonna be the -6.
Are you asking me a question or you just talking to me?
For some reason, I'm just not seeing it where I can go right to it and do it for myself. I mean, I see it once you do it, but I ain't seeing it where X1 is going to be, maybe because they not side by side, they one under the other one. Okay, X1 and Y1 is going to be in the first. No, 5 and 8.
You broke up. Say it again.
I said, for some reason, it's not sinking in. Y2.
Y2 is 3.
Okay, maybe if I had wrote it beside, Y2 is 3.
Mm-hmm.
So in 8 is what?
That's X2.
X2, Y2. X2, Y2.
Mm-hmm.
X1, Y1
Mm-hmm.
is the 5 and the 6.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me write it above it. X1, Y1, X2, Y2. Okay, maybe that'll make it look a little clearer to me now that I put it over top of it.
Okay.
So
All right.
X1, X is going to always be the first one. Y is going to always be the second.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what did I just say?
You're talking about right here. X is always first, then Y. X and then Y.
And then X and then Y.
Mm-hmm.
But the first set is always going to be X and Y1, second one, X and Y2. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go on. Let's go on. Let's go on.
All right. Everybody done with the calculation? Everybody good?
I've already done this. I should not be having these issues.
It's
Just did it last semester.
all good. It's all good.
Man,
All right,
get me
so
some-
basic behaviors of your slope. If you follow your graph, when you follow your line from left to right, if it goes up, your slope is positive. If it goes down, slope is negative.
No matter what side it is,
Mm-hmm.
up,
Yep.
slope
You
is
just going,
positive.
you ride going from left to right. If it goes up, it's positive. Left to right, if it goes down, it's negative. Horizontal line, your slope is 0. Vertical line, your slope is undefined.
Negative. Okay, you said when it's going up and it's positive and down is positive, that's going left to right.
Yep, you're always reading it from left to right. So, yeah.
It's left to right. Oh boy. And then what did you say after that?
Down here, horizontal line, your slope is 0. Vertical line, your slope is undefined. Don't copy parallel lines for anybody who's ahead. Don't copy that.
Okay.
Anybody's ahead.
Okay, your slope, which equals M, stands for slope, right? Okay, your slope, if it's horizontal, is 0,
Mm-hmm.
right? Horizontal is 0. And if it's vertical, if the slope is vertical, it's undefined. What does undefined mean?
0 being your denominator. When you do your calculations, your 0 being your denominator, so that's why it's undefined.
Is the okay.
Any questions on these 4 basic behaviors of your slopes before we go to the next thing. Pretty good.
No, sir.
All right. And so, like I said, those don't involve any calculation. That's just you looking at your line and following it from left to right. If it's going up, your slope is positive. Now, what the actual number is, that's where the calculation will come into play. But going from left to right, if it's going down, your slope is negative. Horizontal lines, your slope is 0. Vertical lines, your slope is undefined. That was from another class. You guys don't need it. All right, so here's where we are. We're looking to close out the section. So this is graphing using your slopes. Remember we mentioned that at the end of that when I first introduced the relationship of slopes, at the back of it is rise over run. So when you're talking about rise, you're talking about going up or down. You're talking about run is right or left. So your slope is actually a set of directions. And whether you go up, down, left, or right would depend on whether you have a positive or negative number.
This still for two, sir?
Still using your slopes.
But I'm not just using him.
So your positive moves are up and right. Negative moves are down and left. Now we'll show how that works in a second. Just give you guys a chance to write.
Mhm.
All right. So let's look at how that works. If I have a positive 3/4, that means I will go up 3, right 4. So your slope is not a point. Once again, it's a set of directions telling you what to do and how to generate another point. So it's up 3, right 4. And then let's say if we have a negative fraction or negative slope, kind of alluded to it when we talked about the negative sign before, when your classmate mentioned the negative sign being in the denominator versus the numerator. So that negative sign, if we have -5/7, that negative is not applied to both top and bottom. It has to go to one or the other. So you can either do -5 over +7 or +5 over -7. But either way, you'll get the same line. So if I have my point, and my point is right here in the middle, and I go down 5 and right 7, I go down and then to the right, that'll give me this point right here. But if I were to go up 5 and left 7, that'll give me this point right here, but you notice it's still creating the same line. So you just have to make sure that you give the negative to one or the other. You don't give the negative to both. That's either -5 over +7 or +5 over -7. All right, questions before we actually do this? Can you scroll up? Really good. All right, so what's also going to help us to be able to graph is if we put our equation in slope-intercept form. In other words, if your equation is solved for y, the number that's attached to x, the number that's sitting in front of x is your slope, and the other number is your y-intercept. All right. So if I look at this first equation, y equal to 2/3 x plus 1, the number that's sitting in front of x, the number that's attached to x is 2/3. That's your slope. And then the other number is your y-intercept. Same thing here. Y equal to -8 over 13x minus 5. -8 over 13 is your slope. And then the -5 or -5 is your y-intercept.
So it looked like you just subtracted 8 from 13.
That's a coincidence.
Oh, okay.
That was just a coincidence, yeah.
All right.
You're the first person ever to say that. I hadn't even noticed that till you just said that.
Well, I was paying attention to you.
Now I got to change it to a 17 or something.
So in this problem, what we trying to find out what the y slope is.
Well, that's going to take us into graphing. But we're saying
Okay.
if your equation is set up in this form, you have your y equal to this number x, whatever that number is, whatever number is sitting in front of your x is your slope. And then the other number is your y-intercept. And so that's going to take us into what we're about to do next. But,
So is that saying the y-intercept equals 1? Oh, I didn't even.
Yeah, right here for this one.
Uh-huh.
And then the y-intercept is -5 for this one over here.
Okay. Intercept is 1. Okay, so 2/3 is the slope. Y is the 1. What the x is? We don't know yet.
Oh, we don't need that. And remember, this is not y, it's your y-intercept. And you'll see what that means in a second. It's a point.
Okay. Wait a minute. Don't go yet. Y equals -8. Is that -8 over 17?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
-8 over 17. X minus 5. Okay, so where the -5 come from?
Know this?
Mm-hmm.
That's the equation.
Oh, we're on a whole new.
Yeah, these are two different equations.
So that's the answer for the equation or something? M equals 2/3 of Y equals 1?
Well, all we're doing is looking at what this is and pulling the information from that equation. The information that you can pull from that equation is that your slope is 2/3 and your y-intercept is 1.
Yeah.
Now, if they ask you what is your slope and what is your y-intercept, then yeah. But all I'm doing is pulling the information from this equation. What information can I extract from this equation? My slope is -8 over 17 and my y-intercept is -5.
Okay, so I got you. Okay. So M equals -8 17. And my y-intercept is going to be the -5. Okay. Thank you.
So we're good. Okay. So now graph using our slopes. So first step is we're going to plot the y-intercept. Then second, we're going to generate another point from the y-intercept with the slope.
You say that's intercepting with the Y
Yeah, Y-intercept. Mhm.
with the, okay, the slope, okay.
Anybody ready to try it out?
So we're gonna always start from the middle point when you say the up to from the 0.
I don't know, but I'm about to walk through it. So let's see if they
Okay.
answer your question. Let's see if they answer your question. All right. So let's say if we take this equation, y equal to 2/3 x minus 1. All right. According to what we just finished talking about, whatever's sitting in front of x, whatever's attached to x, that is your slope. And then the other number is your y-intercept. That's minus 1. So that's your y-intercept. So before we go any further, before we look at anything else, is everybody okay with that part? 2/3 is your slope, and your y-intercept is -1. All right. So now your slope, once again, is not a point. It's a set of directions. Your slope is +2 over +3. That means I would go up 2, right 3, because both of them are positive. Now your y-intercept is an actual point. So as a point, your y-intercept, remember we talked about intercepts last class. If it's your y-intercept, x is always 0. So this is the coordinates of your y-intercept. 0, -1.
X is always 0.
For your y-intercept.
X equals 0. That's where that 0 come in front of that -1. Okay.
Mhm. So if we follow the instructions, remember it says plot the y-intercept first. So you go to your origin and then go down 1. That'll give us this point right here. You always plot your y-intercept first. And then from your y-intercept, not from the origin, from your y-intercept, you go up to right 3. And that'll give you the point in purple. And then that's your line.
Okay, let me see. Positive moves, negative moves, down, left. Up, right, down, left. Okay. Okay.
Mhm. Any questions on that? That's it. Then you connect your dots. That's your line. Everybody good? Go to the next one. All right. So if I had -1/4 x plus 3, y equal to -1/4 x plus 3. So what's attached to x, once again, is your slope. So it's -1/4. And then we have +3 for your y-intercept.
Glad you did this one here because that's what's going to be my next question.
Mhm.
When it's a negative, we automatically follow the negative pattern, which is down and then left.
Well, it's down then, right? Because it's a -1 over +4. So remember, both of them aren't negative. It's just one of the numbers are negative.
So the bottom one is gonna follow the right root.
Right, because
right.
it's positive. Mhm.
Okay. We'll follow the positive move to the right. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, gotcha. So that's gonna be negative. Gonna be down. So that'll go down 1 to the right 4.
Mhm. So you graph, that point first, which is 0, 3, you go up 3 on your y-axis, and then down 1, right 4 from that point. Yep. And that'll put us right here.
Oh, my line ain't lining up. Okay. So
1,
then
2, 3, 4. Okay, over,
Mhm.
plus 3.
over. Okay.
So for the 3 on the Y,
Mhm.
so
You breaking up. I can't. You breaking up.
which way do I go for that 3? To put my 3
You just go
point
up
there.
3, up 3
Yeah.
So
on the
I go up
y-axis.
3.
Mhm.
Okay.
And then from that 3, you go down 1, right 4.
So then, right. Okay, I know what messed me up. I'm putting both points. I put a point at the -1 and a point at the 4.
Oh,
So
no,
the
no,
point
no.
supposed to only go at the 4.
Right, because remember,
Okay.
this is not a point. Those are not points. That's a set of directions to get you to the 1 point
To
that you're
get
trying
me
to
to my
generate.
1 point. Okay,
Uh-huh.
got it.
All
Yo,
right.
my line look good now. Okay.
All right. I think I got one more. Yeah, one more right here. So this one, we don't start off with our equation solved for y. So we're going to solve it for y. Is everybody ready to go to it before we get there?
Yes. Okay.
All right. So we have 5x plus 2y equal to 8. And we want to, once again, we want to solve for y. So we're going to minus 5x from both sides. And we have 2y equal to negative 5x plus 8. Then we divide by 2, because once again, we're still trying to solve for y. So we divide both sides by 2. That 2 needs to go into each term over here. And so this is what we're left with. Y equal to negative 5 over 2x plus 4. So I'll give you a chance to copy that down.
Wait a minute, man. Hmm?
All right. Questions before we go to the next step? All right, so here is the information we pulled from the problem now that we've solved it for y. Y is along the left side of the equation. So whatever's sitting in front of x is our slope, negative 5 over 2, and then 4 is our y-intercept. So it's a negative 5 over a positive 2. So that means I go down 5, right 2. And your y-intercept 4 is always 0 for x. So that's 0, 4 as a coordinate.
I was supposed to went up with that 4.
Yeah, because it's a positive 4. So when you go to graph it, you don't move left or right for X, you just go up 4. Because that's an actual point.
Mhm.
So from that point, you would go down 4, down 5, excuse me, and right 2. And that'll put us right here at this point. And that'll be your answer. Or be a
So
line, I
here-
should say. Hmm?
The negative
You breaking up, didn't hear you.
is down
Say
2 and
what?
over 5.
Okay,
right?
I can hear you now. Say it again now.
Down 2 over 5.
No, it's down 5, right 2.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So your top number is up or down. Remember, it's rise over run.
Down 5 to right 2. Okay.
So so are you moving like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Then here you go 1, 2, and then it goes right there. It don't go all the way over here.
So I want to make sure I understand. We got the 4 is right here. So we go
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4, and then there's one more, then 5.
Okay.
And then you go to the right 2, 1, 2. Wait,
2.
hold on. Well, I was right. I would have been on the line, so it would have been 1, 2. It would have been right here. This is where the new point would be.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
you're just going down the line, and then you go to the right 2.
Going to the right 2. Okay.
So that's gonna be a little narrow slope there.
Be a little, yep.
Yeah, because that's awful. It don't look slopish to me. But I
Well,
guess.
every slant is a slope, just like the slope
Okay.
of a mountain. The steepness of your mountain or the steepness of your slant or slope, will be dictated according to the numbers,
Okay. Little stuff like that be throwing me off because I'm like, that don't look like a slant. Okay. Gotcha.
All right. Questions. Everybody good, everybody straight. So yeah, that's it. So now it's all about you guys trying it out. See if you have any questions, see if you get stuck on anything. I wasn't gonna go into 4-3 today. I think that was enough to chew on for right now. Did anybody have any questions before we close out? Very good. Okay. All right. So like I said, try the stuff out, see if you get stuck. Next class we'll get into this thing came out.
2.
Hold
So that was
on.
still 4, 2.
Yep, that was 4-2. I think you guys got 4-3 in here. And of course, math lab.
That was what Professor Slopes graphing. Just graphing.
Yep, that was 4.2, section 4.2.
You know what the name of that section is?
About to get in there now. I think it's intercepts and slopes. Yeah, intercept slope.
Okay. Steps and helps when I write this down, when I refer, when I'm taking my test. Intercepts and slopes. Okay.
So yeah, so we'll do 4.3. Get into 4.3 on next class. All right. And don't forget, chapter 10, closeout date is the 27th. Make sure you guys are watching out for that. Other than that, you guys have a great weekend. Be safe. And I will see you on next class.
I have a question when you finish.
All right.
Oh, I'll wait till you close out.
Is it a problem like to do or just a general question?
A general question
All
from
right.
our lab things.
Okay, so I'll stop the recording here.